After a month of playing the minimalist game and decluttering our 750 square foot apartment, we have decluttered all of this stuff from an apartment that I thought was already pretty minimal to begin with.
And several bags of trash.
That's what we're going to talk about in this video. I just went to see The Minimalist do a live taping of their podcast, which was really great, inspirational. So I'm curious to see if I can actually hit the numbers. For the past few times, my wife, she's taken part in it, but I think she's really eager to do more this time, so she's going to be joining me in the minimalist game. So I'm going to be keeping track of how many things we get rid of for both my stuff, her stuff, joint stuff, and also just to see which of those things that I'm getting rid of now have come into my life since I started doing the minimalist game. So we're going to start with our books. Now, typically for the minimalist game, you would minimize one thing on day 1, 2 things on day 2, and then 3 things on day 3, and so forth, getting to almost 500 items. That's how I've done it in the past, but this time around, I'm going to minimize as quickly as possible, seeing how long it's going to take me to get that about 500. Yeah. Oh, is this a cool bookmark in here? Oh yeah, it did have this cool bookmark. 31 books to give away. There's a few that we might pass on to people that we think might like them. And then we have a little section with 8 books that we're going to read, get to reading, finish reading, and then we'll probably pass those along as well. So doing well so far. After decluttering our books, Michelle and I largely decluttered separately on our own time. How many things?
132 so far. 133.
Were you surprised by how much we decluttered from our apartment?
Yes. I didn't know how much stuff we had hidden in different places around the apartment and how much just stuff we were holding on to for no reason. Like expired medicines and expired personal care products and clothes that we're never going to wear again, or shoes that really are not comfortable.
Okay, now I'm going to carry the momentum of sorting the books and take a stab at sorting my clothing. Going to pull everything out that I own and go through item by item and see how many things I can declutter. Apparently, the average American family spends $1,700 on clothing annually. And at the same time, the average American throws away 65 pounds of clothing every single year. Okay, it's a few days later, and I have decluttered 40 items of clothing. And the thing that I find most interesting is that none of these items are things that I've added to my wardrobe in the past 2 years. So these are things that I did not initially declutter last year or the year before, the 2 other times I have done the minimalist game. And 6 hangers. Is there anything that you got rid of that surprised you?
I'm getting rid of my wedding dress and I'm just donating it because that's what feels right. We got married during 2020 and it was a very strange experience, but I am ready to let it go.
Are there any sentimental items that you've been holding on to? Sentimental items can be very difficult to declutter, and it's not an area that I recommend doing first. Maybe save those to the end. But if you're interested in letting go of sentimental items, if you're ready, I made a whole video about it, which I'll link to up above and below. But let's get back to the declutter, where I next declutter this area of our apartment. Everything down here is 86 things that I have decluttered from my office area. Of those 86, only 30 were previously had during the last 2 times doing the minimalist game. Michelle and I then tackled our kitchen. It's surprising how much stuff you can have in such a small kitchen. To be honest, most of it we don't regularly use, but are things we have for entertaining. Yet we haven't done that much entertaining in the past 2 years, for good reason.
We're still holding on to some things that are a little aspirational, like art supplies or cooking utensils or clothes for when we go back to work that we don't know if we'll use. So we're keeping them for now, but we might want to declutter them in the future.
All of our kitchen stuff. How many things for the kitchen?
79.
So we're gonna split that 50-50 for our accounts.
Yes. But how do you split 79? We'll call it 80.
Okay, round up.
Yeah.
We'll find something else to donate. Number 80. Okay, I went through all the various drawers, and little places to hide things, and I have 50 miscellaneous items that I will be getting rid of. And out of all of these 50 things, only 8 were new things that I acquired since I first did the minimalist game 2 years ago. But those 8 things are masks that you didn't really need to wear 2 years ago when I first did it. Okay, moving now to the bathroom. There wasn't much to declutter in here, only 4 things. A bathroom deodorizer that is far too strong, a thing of shampoo that's just been sitting in our shower for a few years. I haven't used it. A beard oil, and then this tin for my hair balm that I had used it, but I was saving on the tin to do something with it. I haven't done. So only 4 items in the bathroom, but that brings my total to 207 items decluttered. And 33 things decluttered from the closet. Okay, I just went through a bunch of my files in my office area, getting rid of 52 business cards. I found it funny that it was 52 cards, like a deck of cards. 14 documents that I don't need the physical copy, so I just went ahead and scanned them. And then a work notebook that I've filled up. I went through, there's nothing important that needs to be saved. So 14 documents, this notebook, 15 plus 52, 67 things if I can do math on the fly. 15 more miscellaneous things, mainly clothing, and then 2 coasters and 3 National Geographic magazines. But I think that's it. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. And I think this time around I was ready to let go of more stuff that I was holding on to, which feels good. And it'll feel good to get this giant pile of stuff out of our apartment so we can breathe a little bit easier.
And then yesterday, Michelle and I sent everything to Goodwill. The things that we could send to Goodwill. A lot of stuff we just had to trash. There were some things that were recycled, books that were passed on to other people. And if you want to know the best way to declutter and get rid of things, where to donate and recycle, I made a video about that as well, which I'll link to up above. But let's see how Michelle did in her count.
Tally count. I have 397 items, but some of them are joint items, like general use items.
And that's in addition to what I decluttered.
Yes.
Which I've yet to count up. And then my total came to 322 items. So if you combine Michelle's count of 397 and my 322, that is 719 items decluttered from our apartment. And we have been decluttering and downsizing for several years now. Not only doing the minimalist game, but thinking more intentionally throughout the year of the stuff that we bring in and also letting stuff go. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. thanks to my wife Michelle, who was on camera much more than she would probably like to be. And I'll end with just saying that I wish you the very best. And my name is Tyler Lloyd, and this is my YouTube channel, all about living a happier, healthier, more sustainable life. See ya. Are you ready to look? You gotta look halfway normal at the camera before I start to deliver my line.
I'm not a YouTuber.
Just like eating tubers.
It's true.
After a month of playing the minimalist game,